Yo, what's good, YouTube? ZAMCRO here, aka Scoop, back with the Pokemon Battle Federation, and we have our Season 10 draft analysis. As you can see on screen, we've drafted a full squad. We've got Mega Lopunny, Zeraora, Weavile, Snorlax, Uxie, Decidueye, Nidoking, Aromatisse, Registeel, Araquanid, and Typhlosion. And the reason I had a brief stutter there was because I almost said aromatherapy. That's what went through in my head. But as I thought it out loud, I said, I told myself no. Anyways, fun squad. I have some really good top speed, some decent mid speed, and some really solid slow speed Pokemon here. I have really solid hazard options with Stealth Rocks on Uxie, Nidoking, and Registeel, as well as Toxic Spikes on Nidoking, and Sticky Webs with Araquanid, which is really nice. So, yeah, that's really fun for me. I also have Decidueye as a form of hazard removal, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Aromatisse may or may not get defogged. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on that. I have no way to Rabbit Spin though, but it's not too big of an issue. My only Pokemon that are rock weak are actually Weavile and Typhlosion, and Araquanid as well, but Araquanid's mostly a lead Pokemon and doesn't really have to worry about repetitively switching in on rocks. However, I suppose some roles will call for situations where it does need to repetitively switch in. So keeping rocks off my field can be important, but not the most important, as my main focus of offense is Mega Lopunny. So Mega Lopunny is a fantastic Pokemon, has the normal and fighting type typing. I don't know why that came off weird. So unresisted dual stab with the ability Scrappy, so that ghost types are not immune to my normal types or fighting type attacks, which is fantastic. The Pokemon has a decent attack stat, I believe 135, and I believe its speed is the same. Fantastic speed, same with Zeraora and Weavile, but with Mega Lopunny is kind of like Zeraora in that it really lacks that offensive immediate power. However, it is a fantastic cleanup Pokemon, and it does have some cool attacks, such as Baton Pass, such as Cosmic Power, such as Last Resort, Retaliate, things like that. It does get Fake Out and Quick Attack, so two forms of priority. With, like I said, return frustration, a really solid return, normal stab options, as well as high jump kick and drain punch, are two really solid fighting type stabs. So really fantastic Pokemon overall. It's been considered one of the best generation after generation since its introduction into Pokemon. So fantastic Pokemon. Zeraora, kind of a newer Pokemon. One of my favorites. I think its design is awesome. It's a pure electric type. It's very fast. It has a very awesome move pool. Can be mixed. Can be physically offensive, especially offensive, and can often in draft format run adamant or modest, just depending on what you need. And like I mentioned, can tailor make your sets so that they are the most optimal versus a given roster. So oftentimes you can run something like Plasma Fist and maybe one, maybe two coverage options, as well as bulk up, maybe Calm Mind, can run Magnet, Shuka Berry, whatever you may need. Life Orb sets. However, Zeraora is one of my Z move users, so Zeraora and Aromatisse being my Z move captains, and the only Pokemon available to use Z moves on my squad. And Zeraora makes really good use out of Z moves, being able to break through certain checks with things like All Out Pummeling, Firium Z with the Inferno Overdrive, as well as Gigavolt Havoc and Breakneck Blitz. It gets access to Giga Impact, which is really nice. So yeah, Zeraora is a beast, and I've used it before, looking forward to using it again. Weavile, another beast, really fantastic Pokemon. I've loved Weavile. Life Orb, Choice Band, Dread Plate, Icicle Plate, or Ice Plate, whatever it's called. Weavol's a very, very fantastic Pokemon. Can be like Swords Dance, can be sub 3 attacks, can be 4 attacks, can be Ice Shard and Pursuit. There, you got the cool text with Knockoff and Icicle Crash, or Ice Punch if you don't want to miss. Dark type with Pursuit's really nice, can help break down the psychic types, even with Cobra Berries, just getting rid of that and getting a big chunk off versus a psychic type that can't recover is really nice for Mega Lopunny. Aids in Mega Lopunny and Zeraora breaking through. Zeraora's biggest checks being ground types and grass types. Weavile can, manhandle those with the Icicle Crash and the Ice Punch and Ice Shard and things like that. So that's really nice. Snorlax, Snorlax is a beast. Gluttony, Recycle, Figgy Berry, Curse sets, just a fantastic Pokemon overall. Belly Drum sets with the Salic Berry and Recycle, just fantastic. Um, it gets the immunity ability as well as stick fast, so it can be a check to ice types and fire types. Can be a really, really stallish Pokemon with the ability to not be poisoned thanks to its immunity. Um, it can be a specially defensive set. It can be 4 attacks. It can be choice band. I've experimented with Snorlax quite a bit, and I'm looking forward to using it again. Uxie pairs really well with it as well, as so far fighting types just kind of choice slap on a choice scarf and click close combat. Things like Primeape, things like Hitmonlee are just breaking my squad right now. Howlucha. So we throw on an Uxie here, can defensively check fighting types and can get up Stealth Rocks as well, which is really nice for me. Can set up Trick Room, which is really nice for me as well. Snorlax, Nidoking, Aromatisse, even Registeel and Araquanid can appreciate a Trick Room, and that's really nice. Can U-turn out. Speaking of U-turn, with Zeraora and Uxie and Decidueye, can kind of form a Volturn core, can go out into, cleanup crews like Mega Lopunny and Weavile, or Choice Scarf Typhlosion, things like that. Can bring in Choice Scarf Nidoking, or Life Orb Nidoking, can really start to break squads like that as well. So just having U-turn on several different mons, being able to, use initiative, baton pass on Mega Lopunny, it's really solid for the squad. Uxie doesn't get any kind of reliable recovery, but Snorlax does with like Recycle and Berries. Decidueye does, and Aromatisse can pass wishes to itself or into things like Uxie, which really appreciates that. So next up, we've got Decidueye. Being a grass type Pokemon really helps out. Zeraora switching in on ground type attacks and things like that. Can tank those, can help break through bulky water types for Mega Lopunny and Weavile, and it's just a really nice Pokemon overall. It gets Swords Dance and Nasty Plot, and I am able to Baton Pass either of those stat boosts, which is really nice. If I Baton Pass a Swords Dance into Mega Lopunny, it's probably a wrap, to be honest. If I pass a Nasty Plot into something like a Nidoking, that could possibly be a wrap. Speaking of Nidoking, we have dual hazards in this thing with Stealth Rocks and Toxic Spikes, as well as Sheer Force and Poison Point. People don't realize how good Poison Point Nidoking is defensively as a Pokemon. It can switch in on fighting types, it can switch in on fairy types, it can switch in on electric types. It's a really good Pokemon overall, and it's got a fantastic dual typing in my opinion. Not quite as bulky as Nidoqueen, but it can still get the job done. Earlier we spoke a little bit of Aromatisse. It is one of my Z options, so that's pretty cool. Got the options there for Twinkle Tackle. Got a couple cool other techs that I won't really get into because I don't want to give it away. But like I mentioned, it has access to Trick Room as well. Or I don't know if I mentioned that, but I think I did with Uxie. And this is another Trick Room option, so that's pretty cool. And it gives me Aromatherapy as well as Heal Bell, which is fantastic for my squad. As Mega Lopunny, Weavile, Zeraora, they do not appreciate being burned. Snorlax doesn't. And when I say Mega Lopunny and Snorlax don't appreciate being burned, that's only if I do not have Facade. And I'm not going to be running Facade a lot, but in the case that I do, being burned wouldn't be that bad, I suppose. Next up, we've got another Stealth Rocker in Registeel. Fairy switch in, Dragon switch in, Psychic type switch in. bulky. It can set up and potentially do some weird things, but mostly there to get rocks up, prevent sweeps, maybe click thunder wave, click seismic toss, things like that. Araquanid there to get sticky webs up, can click liquidation and leech life, I believe, and get quite a bit of HP back versus bulky, potentially bug types, or not bug types but dark types, psychic types, grass types, things like that, and ground types. Leech life and liquidation doing really massive amounts of damage to those Pokemon. I don't think it's any kind of cool text, but if it does, I will learn that throughout the season. I haven't actually checked its move pool yet. And then Typhlosion, we do know what it does. Mostly a Choice Scarf or Choice Specs Breaker with things like Fire Blast, Eruption, Flamethrower, Focus Blast, and I believe it gets something like Extra Sensory, which I don't think it would ever use. And Flash Flare. That's about a bit. About all you can say about Typhlosion. Not too much to go off of. It's not too fancy. It's just there to click fire type attacks and get out of harm's way, really. But yeah, that's the squad. Definitely looking forward to playing. We've got quite a few new coaches this season. Some familiar faces as well. I'm not going to go over all of them, but I'm going to say that Sebi did return. We've got Andy back. We've got Kirby back. Ginger has returned, went through the qualifiers, and made it back to the league. We did have a qualifiers tournament, so we had like 3, maybe 4 new coaches join from the qualifiers tournament, as well as Aki VGC joining us, one of the goats of the format, so they say, and one of the Mount Rushmore players. So definitely looking forward to that. I think we play him in week like 10 actually, so we won't be able to face off against him. I think we play Sebi in week 5, and we start off the season with Kirby in week 1. So definitely looking forward to all of our matches, and hopefully we can pick up some wins, make the playoffs, and have a good season. And that goes for everybody. So hopefully we can have a lot of fun. Let me know what you guys think about the draft. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. All the good stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.